So, at long last, let's get this weather update. I'm sorry, I know I really should have had it up sooner, but done a lot of changes to the models and a lot of stuff going on, and I've just been kind of stressed out from everything with the train, so I'm sorry if I got delayed with this. But anyway, here we go. This is going to be a weather update. We're going to have, this is a satellite loop here, 12-hour satellite loop. We did have some blue sky today over the area. There was some, cumulus clouds popping up, but we did have some blue sky before the cirrus. The cirrus really didn't roll in until like really late in the afternoon here on Long Island. So we did actually have some blue sky with some, like I said, some cumulus clouds here. We'll look at the visible satellite as well. You can see it really doesn't show up too well. But I want to go ahead. We're going to look at some MODIS satellite imagery of the storm that we've had, just to show you the storm that we were dealing with over the weekend, the scope of it, and then we'll get to the models and see what this next storm is going to bring us. Okay, so this actually is the NorEaster we had. This is the NorEaster we had on Friday. It hasn't really moved that far out to sea, and for a while it was spinning offshore. So I'm going to just back it up to Friday right here, and it's not working. It's weird. It should work. For some reason we have missing data on that. There we go. All right. For some reason it just didn't want to load. I don't know why. But there's the NorEaster we had. I just want to show the progress of it. There's NorEaster hitting us on Friday, and then it moving away, but it kind of got stuck offshore because there's a block over here, so it couldn't really move anywhere. And it kind of just got stuck there. We kind of got stuck in the clouds, and also almost like a tropical storm, it was creating a lot of high surf, and so the flooding was an issue. It was like a storm surge. Flooding was an issue along the shorelines for quite a while. And it wasn't until now it finally started moving away enough to give us some clear sky over here. So let's go ahead, we'll look at the sky. But you can see we had some of these cumulus popping up here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but there's some cumulus that popped up. Not too much, but enough to make the sky partly sunny at times. But this was the best sky we've had in a while. But anyway, we looked at the current. Now we're going to look at the future and see what this next storm is going to bring us. Okay, so let's go ahead here and look at the models. Let's see what the computer models have to bring in store for us with this weather. We're going to first look at the CONUS view of things, just to give you the larger view. So this is the 18Z GFS. You can see there's our secondary low forming. But as you can see, it looks like it tracks inland, and we actually wind up getting mostly rain from this. Maybe a little snow on the tail end, but the GFS is saying not really. That pulls away. We have a big broad area, high pressure that's going to try to build in, but we're probably going to be playing with clouds because what's going to happen, that storm is going to wind up getting stuck in the block somewhere over here, over Maine. But that'll keep us in a northwest flow. So it'll stay, average to below normal. And unfortunately, I don't see any really frigid air coming down like I was hoping. And then as we go more into the long range, there's another low there that looks like it passes to the south. And then as we get into next week, looks like maybe we'll get some colder, drier weather. Cold, dry weather, which is the kind of weather I like because that's good to get to the Pine Barrens. And then it looks like some storms pass to the south. We're still getting this blocking pattern here. I just want to go ahead and look at the thermodynamics. Let's see the anomaly. I know this is long range. Oh yeah, it looks like it does bring us below normal quite a bit actually toward the end of the period. So yeah, we might have some below normal temperatures and maybe some get teased with a little Arctic air, hopefully before the spring really starts. But anyway, that's not what this forecast is about. I don't really want to get too much into the long range. What it's really about is the storm that we are going to be getting. So let's change this to the local regions here, northeast, so you can get a better close with idea of what the GFS has for us. You can see there's your secondary approaching, and it actually changes most of Long Island over to rain for much of the duration of this storm into tomorrow evening. The storm is moving quicker than the other one, so it should wrap up by say midnight tomorrow. It should start tapering off. But what happens is it gets hung up over New England, so it's going to stay in a cyclonic flow, and that could mean lots of clouds around. I'm tired of the clouds personally. Definitely would like to see some more sunshine, but seems like it's hard to get. Anyway, and then there's the next system. We're just going to focus on the short range, though. So let's see what the NAM has to say here. Let's see how the NAM storm track is. Let me just back it up. All right, this is the 0Z run. Let's go to the 18Z run because the 0Z run is not in yet. So this is what the NAM has to say. So the NAM is always a little different and always a little colder. But yeah, even the NAM wants to change it over. It looks like it has snow mixing in over Nassau County, but not really over Suffolk. Suffolk could stay mostly rain. Jersey may see only rain out of this now. It's really tracking farther to inland here, but you can see that it looks like there's still some pockets of heavy snow right on the other side of that line. So it's a very, very, very tricky forecast, as you can imagine. It's extremely tricky. And then changes over to rain. So it could go back and forth between rain and snow. And then, yeah, you can see that low is just kind of get stuck there and sit there and spin itself out over Maine. But anyway, let's go ahead and look at the snowfall totals now. Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry. It's the wrong thing I picked there. We got to look at the snowfall totals. Got to scroll a little further down for that. Let's do total snowfall on the NAM, and let's see what the NAM has. So NAM is going to be higher, but still not that high. As you can see, if you look closely here, you'll see that Long Island, it only gives Long Island at most a couple of inches. Ocean County is going to get nothing. Monmouth will probably get a couple inches. But once you go from Suffolk, where it'll only be a few inches, and the north and western parts of Nassau, parts of Queens, that's where you could see 5 to 6, maybe 7 inches of but the areas that are really not going to get into the heavy snow are inland, upstate New York, Hudson Valley, northwestern New Jersey. That's where you could see a foot or more. And it's going to be of the heavy, wet snow, so there probably could be more power outages. But the wind should not be as much of a factor as it was in the last storm. However, this is total snowfall. That doesn't take into account the rain mixing in and things like that. So let's go ahead and look at positive. This is the actual snow accumulation on the ground, accounting for melting and mixing with rain. As you can see, it's even less. It has, the Weather Service was, I think, a little too eager to issue that winter storm warning. They're starting to scale it back. I think they're going to wind up scaling it back for most of Long Island and maybe even parts of New York City, because the temperature is going to be above freezing. It's going to be hard for it to accumulate. You have the higher March sun angle, so I'm thinking not too much is going to really accumulate on the roads once you get north and west of New York City, maybe a little on the North Shore of Long Island. And let's go ahead now look at the GFS, see what it has in regards to the snow growth here on the ground, and it really gives us barely anything. Maybe an inch or two on mainly grassy surfaces. We'll look at the total snowfall. So yeah, this storm was looking to be a significant snow event, and it's turned out not to be. Looks like it's not going to be very significant at all. Now the Weather Service, if we go and we look at the Weather Service webpage, you will see that they still have winter storm warning for New York City and the North Shore of Nassau. However, it looks like they've taken it away, and they just have a winter weather advisory for the southern part of Nassau and parts of New Jersey, and the winter storm warning north of there. So it's all dependent on this track of this storm, but right now it's really looking like a bust again for Long Island. I don't think we're going to see too much snow, except maybe on the North Shore. I'll go ahead and we'll look at the briefing for this upcoming coastal storm here. I don't know when this was. Yeah, here's the map. You can see here. So this is as of 5 p.m. What has changed? Winter storm watch was canceled for southeast Suffolk. Winter storm warning was downgraded to an advisory for northwest Suffolk, southern Nassau, southern Queens, and southern Middlesex. And a wind advisory is issued for southeastern Suffolk. And the coastal flood warnings are still up because we're still dealing with a nor'easter with an easterly flow. All right, so the main imports, the heavy snow is going to be inland, interior portions of Hudson Valley, southwest Connecticut, northeast New Jersey, and portions, the 4 to 8 inches of snow with snowfall rates of 1 inch per hour. Portions of the coastal areas, I don't see it happening. It's possible. we could see it, but it's going to have a hard time accumulating. Snow to rain and much of Long Island, southern Queens, and then strong winds. That's going to be for everybody. And of course, there could be whiteout conditions, probably along the interior. So this storm looks like it's going to be more of a less of a snow event. Here's their snowfall map. I'm going to make my own, but here's their snowfall map. So again, storm track closer to the coast, moves the line west, and lowers snowfall totals on the coast. And this is the high end amount, which is looking unlikely at this moment. A low end amount, well, I don't think we'll see nothing. And here's what the winds are going to look like here. So the strongest winds are going to be across the forks. It won't be nearly as bad as the last wind event. Like I said, the last NorEaster, that was the most significant wind we'd had since Sandy. That was pretty significant. But I don't think it's going to be as bad. And the interesting thing with that wind event also is that most of the outages were concentrated in Nassau County. And again, this has to do with the type of vegetation. You know, the trees in Suffolk County are the pitch pines are more of the dominant tree type. They have a tendency to fare high winds much better than the maples and oaks and other trees that are, so a lot of them non-native that grow in Nassau County. And then the forecast uncertainty, so we may have to change it again to lower things more. But the main concern, I think, is going to be the interior with the heavy wet snow. There's going to be problems again. And of course along the coast with the coastal flooding. So that is what's going on with this weather update. I'll just conclude it in a second. Okay, so here's the forecast. Here's what I'm thinking. East End, eastern Suffolk County, most Ocean County, Toms River, Riverhead, most of the Long Island Pine Barrens, the eastern part anyway. There won't be any accumulation at all. And then as we go into western Suffolk and southern Nassau, we'll see probably 1 to 3 inches. More toward 3 as you're going toward the central part of Nassau. And then on the North Shore of Nassau, most of Queens and most of New York City, with the exception of southern Queens and possibly Brooklyn, parts of southern Brooklyn, you will see 5 to 9 inches of snow. So here's where the winter storm warning will be necessary. And then as we go further north, and again, more toward the 9 inches of snow as we get into Bergen County, Union, Essex County, more toward the 9 end of it, all right? And then once you get pretty much the northern half of Jersey, most of Bergen, probably north of I would say north of, trying to think of a good dividing line here. North of Route 4, I guess Route 4 would be the boundary line. Around Route 4, all right, around that vicinity, you're going to be at least 8 to 14 inches, probably a foot of snow, at least on the ground there. Conditions will be bad, and it's going to be heavy. There could be blizzard conditions in these areas with the wind and the whiteout conditions. And then as we go north of there into Sussex County and Rockland County, you will be seeing over a foot of snow, 12 to 8 inches. This will be the hardest hit area right here. But I would say anywhere from, let me just take my little thing here, and we'll draw again one more time here on this. I would say this area right here, I'm going to draw a line right here, and if you are north and west of this line right here, this red line that I'm drawing, this is where the bad conditions are going to be. This is where travel is going to be treacherous, and New Jersey Transit may wind up suspending bus service as well as a result of this. So that is what I think is going to happen. If you are in this area, please be safe. Don't do anything you shouldn't. And if you're not on Long Island, I think we dodged the bullet this time. But hey, it ain't over till it's over. You never know. Things can change. But right now, that is what it's looking like. So the worst of the snow event will be over central northern New Jersey, Hudson Valley, interior Connecticut. So I don't think the Pine Barrens are going to look like this after tomorrow, unfortunately. But hey, hopefully the next time, right? Next winter, maybe. We still have a couple of chances for snow this winter, but it does not look like this storm will be a major one for Long Island. I mean, it could change, but I don't right now with the trends in the models. It's looking more like mostly rain, especially for Suffolk. Maybe parts of Nassau could see, some snow. I think maybe it's most likely the North Shore. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think the way it's looking, it just looks like we'll see snow-covered pitch pines in our Pine Barrens or New Jersey, or snow on the ground in the Pine Barrens. However, if you do go upstate to the Pine Barrens up there, like Shoregunks, yeah, there are Pine Barrens in upstate New York too, like in the Shoregunk Mountains and the Albany Pine Bush. There'll be plenty of snow to see to greet you, but not here, not here. So that is it for this weather update. Yeah, I think the robocall from Laura Curran was a little unnecessary.
Press any key or hold for an important message. This is County Executive Laura Curran. The National Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory, which will bring a nor'easter to Long Island overnight, tonight into tomorrow.
A little unnecessary. All right, so that is it. Take care, and hopefully we get some more sunshine. Hopefully. We need more sunny weather so I can take more of it, get to the Pine Barrens more. Definitely need some more clear sunny weather. There's just been too many clouds around for my taste. I want blue skies like this. That's what I want to see more of. All right, that's it. Take care. And if you are upstate north of the city, yeah, you're going to get slammed. Good luck. But for the longest time, it's been the coast that's been getting the big snows. Upstate's been getting gypped. Well, this winter, it seems like upstate is definitely getting the lion's share of the snow this time. So that's it. Take care. Thank you for watching.